Chat, here we go. It is a continuation of the gauntlet in the road to 100,000 YouTube subscribers Invitational. We just saw Nass versus Feer. Now, Nass versus Atow. And if this is your first time tuning in, whether on the Twitch or the YouTube, you might be wondering about the name of the tournament. It is the road to 100,000 subscribers because we're getting ever closer. In fact, you might have noticed, I don't know if I pointed it out in the last game, we're going to keep a running counter of what it's at right now in the top right. My guess is if you're watching on the YouTube, it's been a few days since this was recorded, so hopefully the number's higher. Hopefully there hasn't been a hemorrhage of YouTube subscribers. If we do happen to get to 100,000 before the last video upload, we'll be running an additional tournament, a bigger tournament. It'll be way bigger. It'll be a $3,001 tournament, and we'll run it right away. But for now, we've got the initial tournament to watch. It has been a pool play into a gauntlet. We even threw in a qualifier for a chance for a wild card to make their way through the bracket and take down all the prize. That wild card was Feer, but he ran into a 1v1 force who just manages to win EU tournaments. Now he was starting from about as poor of a position as he could in this gauntlet. Can he find his way all the way through? This is, of course, Nass we're talking about. Atow won when they played previously in pool play. It was the best of 5. Atow was able to win it 3-0, so he has guaranteed himself a bit of prize. Nass needed to win that last match to get a bit of prize. Loser of this will finish third and get $100 for their efforts. But 400 and 1,000 laying in wait for whoever manages to get second and first. Nass, if you're watching on the YouTube and you didn't watch the Nass versus Feer match, you have to go watch it. Maybe chat will tell you right now just how much you have to go watch it. It was a very good series, even though you already know who advanced because obviously you see who's playing in this game. It was definitely worth checking out. Nass gonna take a 2-1 lead here in game 1. The storyline now for Nass is, will there be any deterioration as he's forced to play highly competitive 1v1 after highly competitive 1v1 for what could be a long time. Atow coming in fresh into this game 1. Nass was trying to pass himself off the wall. Did not work. Atow put too much heat on it. Had a chance with a power shot to score before Nass's return, but overshot it. 3 million viewer raid. W raid from Vex7. Nass. What a great play. These are the kind of plays we're going to expect to see from Atow all series long. Just so much control in the air, though, there from Nass. Gets the reset really early and can use the rest of his time to set up the perfect position to use it. Atow, ball came on dribble at all times is his signature. He's going to try and keep this one in the air for as long as he can, but let's bring it to the ground for the wave dash 50. Nass power slide his way all the way out to the midfield without taking the 100. Certainly not his initial plan, and now he'll get himself demoed. Atow, very aggressive. I actually feel like Feer was playing the demo game, the bump game, a lot early, but kind of veered away from it as time went on. I doubt we're going to see that from Atow, who plays all of his Rocket League that way. He is known to play that way in 3v3 as well. Just has a taste for deleting his opponents. And now, going to get a chance to go the length of the field. This is where Atow works his magic. And he's going to go for a heavy reset shot. And that's going to result in a freebie for Nass. Atow chasing behind the play here. looking for a demo and try to look for it again. Nass able to dodge it by landing on the top of Atow. And now he's going to switch the field. This is a kind of breathing room. Even that little bit of breathing room, because Atow ultimately did close it out. That was the kind of breathing room Feer refused to give. Feer was staying on the ball as much as he could, and Nass will actually be the one to get a demo goal. And a great flip to recover the other side of the ball. Atow going to win a direct kickoff and couldn't have come any later. He has saved himself 55 seconds to score twice. Nass is taking a breather here, watching this whole replay. Delay kickoff again from Atow. You know, we saw a ton of delays from Feer. Atow was the guy who was throwing in delays the most during his big run of show match wins. Probably maybe a month ago, maybe only a few weeks ago. He was using that delay to a lot of success, but it's going to be Nass who scores shortly after this kickoff. And as soon as this becomes midfield play, Atow will have officially lost. He needs quick goals, even if it's Nass's goal like it was previously. Not the end of the world, although now that he's given up 2, it probably is the end of the world. And in fact, Atow is going to agree himself. He doesn't even want to wait the 32 seconds. We will end it as game number 1 will go to Nass. Game 2. Nass and Atow. Nass actually keeping his winning streak going that he finished off against Feer. Nass now getting Meki in the air. Atow waiting on the ground. Has boost to work with, so could think about trying to get up early, but goes feathers boost in order to be able to pick up the back 100. He had 100. He needed to use some just to be able to steal it. Maybe he felt like he needed to get it taken so that if the ensuing play went on for a while, there'd be nowhere for Nass to reset on boost. Nass loves his left wall win on kickoff. Just a speed flip to get around the right side of the ball. Force it left. Atow fake challenge there as Nass had the reset. Was trying to maybe bait him into using it in order to take the ball away. But it's going to work out to play it off the bounce as well. Nass. A kickoff win. And trying to put Atow in the clamps, but looks like Atow has escaped. Still not with a lot of boost, but a low bump will be enough. I wonder if Nass adjusted. Atow took such a wide angle into that shot. Nass seemed to read that. Power slide cut, catch, and goal for Atow. Nass on 50 didn't get the kind of touch he needed. He was already past the ball. He was trying to get a heavier one out across the nets. Atow completely missing on the delay kickoff. Something his RLCS teammate did as well, but when it was Feer, he got instantly scored on. At least this time. Nass just misses wide. Now air dribble out of this right corner. Nass scored last time. This time Atow rises up to meet him instead of waiting on the ground. Atow tried to make something out of basically Nass's pass. Nass played it into his own half. And Atow intercepted it, but couldn't get a goal. Nass gonna back off. All the space in the world for Atow. A interesting first touch. He had to use a ton of boost to fight against its momentum. He went for the pogo. Both Nass and Atow will take the pogo shot in order to get defenders to miss, but Nass seemed prepared for it. Did not get beat by the high point of contact that usually surprises the defender. Atow half flips on the kickoff. Would have had the save if it was on target, but it wasn't. Nass now attacking from the left corner. Used the flip right as Atow came off the wall. Almost seemed like the perfect timing, but not enough power. Ball still falls down to the ground to Atow, who has done well controlling the ball and cutting it towards the net to catch Nass off guard. This time just takes a 180 and is able to get a roller. Half flip kickoff. Nass reads it not quite as early as he needs to, but still takes it into Atow's half. We see players go around the ball and take it back into their own corner a lot. Nass doesn't do that. He does manage to get himself a boost steal, which does make the kickoff at least fairly neutral. If he doesn't get that boost steal by going into Atow's half, it's a complete loss. He'll end up giving away a clean possession, but no real clean possession has happened for either one of these guys. Atow gonna play from the ceiling. Play keep away, needs a ground pinch. He is good at those. It's a slow roll, and it's not in. Nass, wow. The angle he was able to find, too, to keep it glued to the wall, but not off the post. Or actually, off the post would have been fine as well. Just nothing that stays in front of the net because Atow was rearing to turn around and make a play. Nass, a defensive mastermind. Is it enough, though? He can't pair it with some offense. He's down one right now. Atow really heavy touches. He is one of the few players that does this. You don't see a lot of ones players going for this kind of offense, which is just kind of booming the ball and forcing a double. It's very committal, and if it doesn't work, it can get you scored on. But Atow seems to feel like he's in full control in those situations. He's not worried about losing the ball. He knows he's going to put a solid shot on that is either going to connect or the save is going to be tough enough that he doesn't really have to worry about a direct counterattack. This time, though, he does give the ball away. And Nass will again make the deficit 1. Atow not playing this late game lead the way his RLCS teammate was. When he had a win, or sorry, not a win, but a lead under a minute, you can tell him really slow down and start to use that to his advantage to try and bait Nass into bad plays. Atow is continuing to just kind of boom the ball. He sends this one to the backboard and finds a way to score it. He kind of lands on the back wall to get an angle to touch it in. And that is not something you see very often. I mean, it's not like a pogo, but he did need the wall contact in order to get the angle. It's kind of like a... I mean, again, it's not a pogo. It didn't really bounce off, but he definitely needed the back wall in order to get the touch. Now, a double jump bump. Nass has been doing a good job of getting the deficit back down to 1, but hasn't been able to equalize. Atow now is going to play the clock. He's going to wait till 19 seconds. As he takes it back into his half, convinces Nass to close the distance, and I tell you what, pretty risky shot. I'm saying you're playing the clock, but Atow getting the reset, and most importantly, way out ahead of the ball, which means if he doesn't hit the shot, he's not protecting it. If Nass finds a way to get a read and challenge, that ball is headed straight into the blue half for a goal, which is just not the kind of play that players go for when they have the lead. But Atow seems unworried, and maybe he's right to be unworried, but again, Nass has no trouble getting himself back within one. Atow was panicking there. Ends up being turtled. This is normally a delay from the player who's down to chip it up. But Nass actually just puts it to the side wall and gets underneath it. Credit to Nass. Oh, that's just certainly going to be on the ground, though, right? Yeah. He's not getting back to that one. But hey, credit to him for even keeping it up in the air in the first place. Nass might be in for another long series as Atow ties it up. Shout out that YouTube subscriber who I just saw subscribed. Appreciate you. As we head to game number 3. Nass, I think, had a similar result against Feer. Might have won game 1, and Feer won maybe 3 straights. Something close to that. What is Atow doing? It's a pogo behind the ball, but it's not one that does a lot to threaten something that'll get past Nass. Atow probably going to take this setup from Nass gladly, as his first touch is attacking the opposite post. Nass actually gets a save by bumping Atow off the ball, so he cannot finish his double. Or really, it would be like a triple. There's going to be a ton of 50s there as he tried to force it in. Atow couldn't get over the top of the pre-jump. Wait a second, might still be able to score because Nass just forced it to the ceiling. Great recovery from Nass, who I think got a reset off of the ceiling to get back to the back wall. Atow going high, back down low. Nass doesn't panic and now has boost, so Atow will have to leave. Nass seems interested in playing the ball on a carry, and Atow will deny the double jump bump. Nass, I don't know if that clear was good enough. Atow needed to get height under it if he wanted it to score. The roll of the defender will not work. And now you have to imagine that a double jump up is coming, and Atow is right to dive because, boy, is it much easier to take it away while it's still on the ground. Atow backing off here as Nass air rolls for a backflip shot. Nass is not going to let Atow play that off the bounce. Going to force him down to the ground, but actually it's going to go worse for Nass. Nass used up all his boost in order to break up the bounce, and then had nothing left to stop the goal. That's almost 2 minutes for the first goal in this game. Nass first touch reset. Didn't have the ball on target, so it was always going to be a tough task to try and convince Atow to leave any part of the net open. Nass on the bounce dribble. This is a classic throwback, and it never goes out of style. It just never does. It's just not often you're able to set up this kind of play anymore in today's 1v1 game. Players are too quick and too good at making sure you never get it there. 1-1 now in what has been a defensive battle, but a demo and a catch will give Nass the lead as we cross halftime. Delayed kickoff from Atow. Nass wants a demo, and he jumped to get it, and instead he just got a bump, but it's going to work out. Nass seemed to even take a second there. Atow trying to dodge the bump. Nass knew that was coming. Oh, the missed recovery from Atow. I thought there was much he could have done anyways. Maybe if he instantly killed his momentum, flipped back towards the ball, could have had a chance. Nass. Air dribble 50. In off the post. Atow seemed to almost want to guide it to that corner, but Nass won out slightly. Nass missed the wave dash off of the bump. Had he hit it, maybe he stays around to make a play. But a classic from the wave dash kickoffers is to chase down the other player and bump them to start the possession. Atow double jump over the top of Nass. Can Nass recover? No, he gets a reset bump. He was already in a great position once he read that Nass was going to turn in. Nass had to try and panic to get back into play. I think even if he wasn't bumped, I think that was just a goal either way, but Atow protects the ball well. Nass, double jump, bump. No, Atow goes underneath it. And now we'll start an air dribble of his own. Such a pure setup from Atow, but it's actually not going to score. Nass denies it and is unable to score it the other way. Atow does a good job to break that up. Nass front flip flick. Not nearly enough power or special sauce to get past Atow, but he doesn't seem to be too worried about that. He's trying to keep Atow pinned back, now forced to reset the possession. Bounce dribble. Took a really long time to take ball cam off. Ooh, the slow roll. Atow cannot stop it. This works often in ones. When someone's shadowed, you just let the ball drop and go directly at the player. They're not really ready for that slow of a play. It ends up hitting behind them where they cannot make it clear with pace. They end up having to, almost backflip or side flip, touch it with the tail end of their car, which results in the ball just popping right back out to the offense. And then they take that for the goal. 45 seconds again. Atow needs to make up 2 goals if possible. And Nass able to deny this air dribble before Atow could get around to get a bump. Still a decent position for Atow. He just needs to score on this take. Nass is up, and the bump is high. It's a demo, actually. He's noticed Nass has been trying to get to these as early as possible to not get bumped, but doesn't matter. Atow will still protect the ball. 27 seconds. Looking for a lead in this best of 7. Half flip kickoff. Now Nass will take the ball into his own half. I wonder if that's the play he uses because he has the lead. He's able to dodge Atow on the side wall. This one is off the post and out, but the side flip will finish it. It's not the end of the world for Atow. 14 seconds, you can get 2, and this might be the way you get the first one. A wave dash kickoff into bump, and it only took him 5 seconds to get 1. Pass. Big kickoff win. I don't even expect him to chip this. If anything, maybe just bait Atow into a 50 on low boost. Oh, wait a second. Nice box out. The ball is headed to the net, but it won't get there in time. Nass will take the series lead after game 3. All right, you see that? That means 1 minute add. Atow's got to figure his stuff out. Game number 4. Atow having some internet issues. He says he thinks it'll be fine. Atow has consistently talked about his internet issues that he has. He usually needs to play very late. It sounds like he says that if you wait until like 10 Central European summertime, then maybe traffic dies down. He doesn't have as much issue with his internet. I believe it's 9:40. So as time goes on, it should get better and better. Nass on the air dribble. Atow has the save and has himself in a great position to score, and he will. Bro's living in 2004. Listen, I'm not going to let you guys hate. You guys are hating on me for not having fiber. I'm certainly in no position to allow hate of Atow. Standard kickoff will win for Atow as he takes the lead. And another kickoff will make it 3-1. This time, delay wave dash. Another delay from Atow. Trying to stay one step ahead on the kickoffs. Nass able to bring this back into the corner and evade the bump. It's actually pretty impressive. He's earned himself a possession and waited a bit too long. Atow shadowing close, gets the back challenge, and now gets a reset just outside the box, but goes to the ground and uses the side flip to outplay Nass. Nass waiting on that goal line. Felt like he was going to be able to react to an air dribble that may not go the distance, and it didn't, but couldn't react to the side flip shot. Atow, oh, almost another kickoff goal. Normally, if somebody's scoring those quick of kickoff goals, it's actually Nass, but Atow has that edge here. Early, nice outplay, a flick to make Atow completely miss. We have seen this backflip flick when attacking, bringing the ball to the net and then launching it above the defender, but to have the guts to launch it over the top of an attacker, which if you lose, I mean, that's definitely just going straight into your net. But Nass was confident and gets rewarded. Nass, can he get an angle after winning the 50? He does. He sees Atow looking to make a play on the ball. Gets all the way out, up over the top. Nass kickoff win. Rushing back to the ball after snagging the boost to kill a 50, and now has a possession from his own half. Thought Atow was maybe going to backflip challenge. We've seen Atow do a lot of early challenges so far today. He turns shadows and makes a play, but this time he did back off, and he actually made a great read there to guide that shot off target. Now into another air dribble. Nass has defended well against these. It's only on that recent one where Atow went to the ground that he was able to score. Atow maybe going to start playing these on the ground a bit more, because that felt like a better chance than his previous air dribble. But Nass survives, forcing another reset. Nice pop. Dual purpose from Nass. I thought he was going to retreat. He's actually just hanging out the midfield, waiting for the 100 to spawn. It does spawn before Atow really gets anything going. Nass needed a touch as he came to the ground if he wanted to shoot before Atow's return. He's doing a good job of playing around Atow. What a goal from Nass. Atow trying to force chaos, diving around, looking for demos, looking to throw off Nass. He just plays with pace and controls the ball effortlessly. Ties up the game. Nass going to go to the delayed kickoff. He's had enough of it getting used against him. What a bounce into a great position for Nass to work with. He decides to take it to the ground, though, and actually cannot hold on to the ball. Ceiling reset for Atow. Fakes all the way down. Ends up using the ball on the bounce. Nass has that read. A really tough defensive read to make. The kind that Nass has been making, though. Atow decides not to go for power shot on his recovery in and out of the net. Felt like Nass was back in time, so instead going to slow play a little bit more. 18 boost to work with. Atow has just enough to help him recover, though, paired with some dashes. He is not fully out of position. These two guys putting good attempts on each other's nets, but the defense has just been better in the last minute. Now Nass, double jump. Cut off early. Atow going to send it to the corner. Get undercut, and he's out of position now. Nass will get a goal. Thought this was an interesting hit from Atow. to send it into the corner. Anytime you use your flip, you become a target, whether that's for a bump or an undercut, something to try and throw you off. No longer do you have a way to escape, or a really reliable way to escape. Nass plays that to his advantage, and a kickoff in his favor as well. A 2-goal lead for Nass as he looks to try and continue the run, the clutch run, to take down the gauntlet. Talked about it before. He lost in a sweep to Atow in the best of 5. And a little Goomba stop into one more touch for Atow. So Atow is still very much in this game. But he keeps putting himself in this spot where he has to make a play to win with 30 seconds. He goes for the half flip kickoff, and it actually gets him a possession. Nass just barely able to clip the ball with the last shred of boost that he had. It does seem like a possession for Atow is coming here eventually. Just needs to show up before the clock hits 0. As Nass looks to try and stay on the ball, and here it is. I think this is the moment. Nass, actually, that was just not a good set of bounces off the sidewall for Atow to get something going. Now he's on 0. Yeah, it's going to hit. Even if he didn't keep it up, he did not have the boost to make a play. So Nass going to give himself 3 chances to close out the series. Feer wasn't able to do it against him. We'll see if Nass can do it against Atow. Very toxic, yeah? Oh, I didn't know. Wow. I've lived in bliss where my opponents GG me twice, and I think, wow, they really thought it was doubly a good game. But apparently double GG is toxic. Oh, I always press the wrong button. Why do I do that? Okay, we're back into it. Everything is toxic. It's double negative. Oh, so double GG is the way to say bad game, is what you're telling me. New to me. Me and the rest of the boomers out there just thought, the other guys thought it was like a really, really good game. Nass up 1 to start what could be his closeout game, to get himself a match against Drally, who went undefeated in pool play. These guys both guaranteed $100. They're trying to fight for guaranteed $400. And Nass was actually just a little bit too fast. If you slow down, then you actually don't get demoed because your back wheels kind of land on the other car. But he was just perfectly fast enough to land in front of the demo. Doesn't matter though. Even after getting deleted, handles himself well. Still ends up being the one to score. Pass. Handing the ball away. Atow playing high in order to get around the early challenge, and he'll get on the board. Nass was a very close series away from not even being in this position, but he is taking his opportunity for everything it's worth. When I have a especially bad game, when I feel the game was especially bad, and I'm tilted, this doesn't happen very often much anymore with how much I play. Nice shot from Atow. My go-to is not double GG. My go-to is okay. I'm one of those people. That's right, you heard me. I'm an okay guy. But only if the other team says GG. I don't just hit okay. It's if I disagree that it was a good game. The other team says GG. I go, okay. Was it a good game? Okay. But not very often. Don't play enough to get that tilted. Fear calls people truly awful. Once upon a time I did. Yo, Bats on Twitch, thank you for the 42 months of Prime. Everyone in this tourney is cracked. It's true. It's true. Everyone in this tourney is cracked. Almost as cracked as you, who has given your Prime for so long. Bats on Twitch has been so committed to giving his Prime to this channel. You love to see it. He will get a special plaque that says, I made Fear full time with my Prime. If we do eventually get there. Atow, what a recovery, and actually he's going to be rewarded with a goal because Nass tried to greet it out a little bit. It's hard to blame him because it felt like a position he was going to be able to win. Now we're 4-4. Atow. A soft flick directly at the back of the defender. And it may seem weak. It may seem like a mistake, but it works very often because there's just no power to be used. When you shoot a strong shot, the defender can almost steal the power of the shot and use it to launch a clear. When you throw a dud right at their back, they just can't give it any oomph to get it out there. Follow-up can often be a goal. Nass bumping Atow off the kickoff into a 5th goal. Atow disregarding the kickoff. Able to earn himself a possession. And nice move. We see players in this position often try and pop the ball up, go for a bump. This time Atow just drops it down and cuts it out behind Nass. He has himself a 2-goal lead, but 2 minutes left to go. Lots of time. Nass could still close it out in this game. Atow resets that he bails out on. Just goes for a 50 win. Nass going to clear the ball. Heavy touch from Atow as he looks to set up a take the other way, but the problem with the heavy touch is it goes to ceiling height and then there's really nowhere else to go with it. So he has to just follow it to the ground. Makes it somewhat worthwhile with a demo. Now sees Nass coming, so he pops the ball up and has no trouble taking it and bringing it back to on target. That is something that is a luxury for only the best players. Did Atow have a weird recovery here? This seemed a bit too easy for Atow. Oh, sorry, he just waited. He waited for the 100. I'm like, I think Atow should have been more relevant in that play, but he camped out waiting for 100 that didn't spawn for him. Atow, big challenge though. Not going to allow the tie game. And that is so important. Not just for the mental, but with a minute left to go. The way you're able to play and force out mistakes when you have a lead. The onus is on the other player to try and find offense. Can be so helpful. And Atow's keeping that cushion right now. Even a 2-goal cushion, of course, helps even more. But Nass did win the possession off the kickoff. So he still has his chance. Atow transitioning to the ceiling from in front of the net and actually is in a great position to stop Nass. Nass tried to adjust to that. I think he saw him rising up to the back wall and went for a power touch down in order to get it out of his vicinity. But Atow reacted to that well, gets a demo, and has just about secured this game number 5. Can he do what Nass did to his teammate? Win 3 straight after going down 3-1. Well, we don't know if he's won this one yet. Nass sticking to his standard attempt to win the kickoff to the left side. You've got a bump on Atow. Can he get around this ball to make something happen? A little bump, pop. Atow, what a save! Only a few pixels left over on that save, but he flips it out. Atow's going to drop a nice one. Let's see if we can see it again. So close. Really calm and collected from Atow, half flipping as he flicked it away, but I mean, he was still on 0 boost. It was still a very favorable position for Nass, who does manage to get his goal either way. But it's actually a kickoff win again for Nass. Atow has boost to work with, and he's just going to dive on the ball, and wow, very close over there on the side wall. Almost stayed up. Still going to be a really tough position for Nass, but maybe there would have been a chance. Instead, Atow secures the game. We'll head to game 6 after a minute break. Sue me for thinking that maybe there's something that could change about the game after a million years. Shout out to the guy who decided to put boost on nameplates as well, because especially for spectator mode, it's great. It's really great for 1v1. You know, we almost don't even need the boost indicators that do exist on the scoreboard, in case you didn't know that, above their names. But it's much more convenient to just see their boost right next to their name in the game. Oh, but in case I cut it out in the between, someone was asking if it would make sense to put timers on boost respawns. And just like teammates boost, I feel like the best players already have a really good idea of how much they have. Just like the respawn is, you know, very predictable. But hey, I don't know. Maybe we try and think of something to do to the game after it's been going on for many years exactly the same. Mordka, thank you for 3 months of Prime. Better quick chats? That's fine. We could try that. Atow, delay kickoff. Gonna get himself going here, as he is gonna have to deny Nass 3 separate times. He's gotten his first denial, but it's looking like he's gonna have to climb uphill for his second denial in game 6. Oh, what a long shot. Atow, smooth recovery, allows him to take the back corner boost and then quickly launch a shot back the other way. Nice steal. Still don't understand why you can't type in chat to cross-platform. I thought you can now. I thought that was like, I thought you could, chat. Can't you type to cross-platform people now? But first off, because I thought around the time everything got censored. Maybe it's just the Epic. For a while, maybe you couldn't talk to even Epic players, but now you can. Now you can talk to Epic players. You just maybe can't talk to, oh, is it still only party chat? Oh, maybe that's what it is. I'll be honest, not only do you know I have less time to play nowadays, but I always solo queue, so there's not a lot of chatting going on when I'm playing. I thought it was around the time that like every single word in the entire dictionary became censored, because I thought they were trying to make it so you could chat with cross-platform, and so in order to do that, I thought they also just felt like they needed to censor every single word in the English language. Chig Bungo, thank you for the 36 months of Tier 1. Drop into chatting. W chatter. Nass is indeed down 1 now. Atow has recovered his lead, and he will need to force a game 7. And Atow will steal the ball off the top of Nass again. A surge here for Atow in the 2nd minute. And that surge is going to continue with a wave dash kickoff that results in a 6th goal. A delay wave dash as well. A lot of players who like to wave dash will add a slight delay to it, but they aren't necessary to be used together, as Atow shows you can delay without wave dashing. Pretty quick thinking from Atow to almost use the bump to get a touch on the ball, keep this possession going. Lean back into a reset. Nice save from Nass. Can he chase Atow down and make him feel uncomfortable? He actually decided not to. Maybe that's because Atow gets touches like that somehow, you know, even though everyone else in that back corner is awkward, he somehow finds a way to just kind of pinch it out into a perfect position to start an air dribble. Attow's going to drop him a nice one as Nass goes to the back wall for a double. Atow recovering too late to get up. Nass might be in store for a really long day if he lets Atow force another Game 7. But I'm sure he'd prefer a really long day over dropping out in 7 games. Huge delay on the kickoff. Doesn't work out as I'm sure Atow would have liked. Snupo, I read that in chat. Nass gets the back corner boost, and Atow only had pads to work with, but he still works his way into a goal. Wave dash kickoff. Forcing Nass to the top right corner to make a save. And Nass is going to have to relinquish the ball, even though it was a very impressive recovery. What a shot! Atow said, I think I could just boom it past him. Nass does a pretty good job recovering quickly. But man, that just had too much on it. Atow pre-flip touch for this. Oh, Nass actually somehow guided it away. Atow sending this one to the back wall and a clear. It's costing him a lot of boost, but he is buying himself time. He's actually back involved in the play before Nass can really get anything going. A minute left to go. 3-goal lead. Atow held it down last time. Nass misses on this touch. And now rushing back to the ball. He is feeling the moments here with 52 seconds left to go. It works out well. Actually gives him a possession, but he could not control that one. Atow will steal it away. It just needs to not allow a goal every 11 seconds. Max Grant, 17. Thank you for the 2 months of Prime. It is indeed another hell of a series. It looks like we're in store for a very nice day of Rocket League today. Nass gets the first of 4. And he does so in 10 seconds. Didn't take him 11. He's on pace. Not favorable for this kickoff to go into the orange half. Atow goes to the ceiling, and Nass was hoping that Atow would be jumping off the ceiling quickly as a way to try and, you know, get back down to the play. And then Nass could maybe go over the top of him, but Nass just chipped it right into him up there. Direct kickoff goal from the right wall. Not something we see as often with Nass. But man, he is not giving up here. Still believes in his ability to get 4 goals in about 16 seconds is what it started as. He needs to just launch this. He can't even really dribble it. He has to just shoot it. But he does get it there. And now he's got 2 more to get. 10-8. Can he do it? Diagonal kickoff this time. Atow, I thought we were going to see a half flip, I'll be honest. He went side flip as he got to the ball, which is a real just have this go anywhere but directly in my net type play. And it worked out well. He does ice the game out. It's going to be another Game 7. Atow and Nass. Winner advances to play Drally in the grand final of the gauntlet. Game 7, it's Atow versus Nass. as chat suggested, we've hopped on to Champions Field for the moment. Why not? Every Game 7 deserves a little Champions Field. And Atow is trying to win 3 straight to get revenge for his KC teammates who had the same thing happen to him by Nass in order to make it here. Nass, low 50, gonna get denied by Atow, who now is playing off the ceiling. I don't think he's gonna be able to get back to the ball though. We're gonna have the added commentary of the in-game announcer now. Atow starting the air dribble from his own half. Nass saved it with force. Can he recover to it before Atow? No, but he'll get a demo. So Atow sends it on the back wall, and Nass will open up the scoring. Wave dash kickoff. Looks like Atow wanted a bump, couldn't get it. Nass avoided that and then made it back to the play to make the save. And now, not going to take his left wall dribble. Instead, going to play it on the ground. Nass has been known to prefer the ground play in 1v1. A lot of the best 1v1ers in the world will prefer that. There's been times when people have surged to the top and been able to do so with a heavy reliance on the air. It certainly has increased more over the years. You have to have it as part of your arsenal, but at the end of the day, the safe play on the ground is always appealing to even the best players. Atow going to go the distance to the field. Denied. Atow will reset. Did not tap this back to the wall like it seemed like he might. Instead, he let it stay where it was at, which means Nass can actually close the distance easier. Prevents him from really getting possession going and even take it away. Nass does not want to let this series get stolen from him. Up 2 with 3 minutes left to go. A goal a minute for Nass. Mirrored wave dash kickoffs. Nass turns in for the bump. Atow is going to let this ball bounce farther out of the corner because the farther it comes out, the better angle he has to make a play. And if Nass is going to shadow, no reason not to let it creep out to improve your chances. But Nass does still get the stop. And now finding the power on that tip into flick that we saw him trying a ton earlier today that I felt like kept coming out with nothing. This time came out with almost too much. But it does get Atow up in the air, and then the follow-up plays in favor of Nass. Atow wave dash kickoff, and that'll get him a goal. Nass was maybe quicker to the boost, but it's not going to be worth anything. Nass, a kickoff loss. Atow needs to get going here. It almost seems like a down-to-the-wire game is inevitable the way the games have been going today. It has just been a couple fire matchups so far. And just as soon as Nass seems like maybe he's going to try and pull away, make it an uninteresting game, Atow has put a couple on the board. Not going to be able to get back around to this one, though. Nass can get a 2-goal lead. Delay kickoff from Atow. Nass has got to be tired of seeing those delays. He sees them so often. There's that ball cam on dribble. And in this case, I feel like it almost makes it harder for Atow. You know, you got to give him credit for keeping it on when he needs to see around the ball. But if he had taken ball cam off, I think his camera would have actually showed him Nass better. It would have adjusted towards the right where Nass was. Instead, he just keeps it on. Nass killing this into the corner. No boost to work with, though, and Atow plays that advantage. He'll low 50. If Nass gets a better challenge than this, he'll reset at the other side. He'll do it again. He'll do it again. And he'll just pull out the boost from Nass until he eventually gets his goal. That didn't take him too many attempts this time. Now a minute 23. Where did the time go in this game? It was such a midfield game for the first couple minutes. The scoring is coming in now as Nass is going to have his flick saved. Atow should be in and out of the net quickly. Didn't want to dive out underneath the ball, though. So waits out for Nass's follow-up. Wants a demo, not going to get it. He's just a little bit behind. And now will Nass play his clock and 1 goal lead. He plays it slow, and that gets Atow to close the distance. And then he tries to counter that with a hook shot to give it power out to the other side of the field. But Atow is ready for that as well. Gets a save. Wants a demo. Nass dodges it. Huge dodge to keep his lead. And we will start again. This time, a bounce dribble. Atow has boost to work with. Shadow challenge. Does get Nass to go over the top of the net, but Atow, can he respawn and get back? Nass puts it off the opposite post. It's not in, but Atow's in a tough spot. I'm actually surprised. Oh, that Nass went for a power shot, but he knew what he was doing. I thought maybe he'd continue to slow play it and not go all in. This power shot is all in, and that if it doesn't score, Atow would be able to clear it and probably end the possession. But Nass saw an opportunity to just get a 2-goal lead. 24 seconds. Atow, will he delay? Nass is going to fake. I like that from Nass to try and control the end of the game here. Going to tap this one to Atow, who's going to look to save it on the goal line as short as he can so that he can stay in control of it, not give the ball back to Nass, which he did a great job of. Now the other way, into the net. Nass drops him the nice one. It all starts with the feather touch on the save. And there's nothing Nass can do to break up a perfectly executed dribble. 8 seconds now for Atow. Will Nass fake again on the diagonal? No, he goes straight. Slight delay from Atow. He needs a demo or something on this side wall to get a clean possession. He doesn't get it, so he will not be able to keep the ball up. And it's a 1-goal game. Nass wins it, though. Does not allow Atow to get 3 straight. Holds him off in Game 7, and he will advance to play Drowley in the grand final of the road to 100,000 subscribers Invitational. GG's. Subscribe to the YouTube. Am I right, chat?